Hey, I'm going to talk about one of the true tragedies in politics that doesn't get covered enough. So, just like in the Bolivian Revolution, how a lot of the voices that wanted to fight for the people's rights ended up in a cluster of disagreement, even though these people had the same ideology and they had the right motives and they wanted to help the citizens. Um, Hungry Bucks not making his job interview when he went against he played against the CEO of Nintendo for North America, and the CEO said, "Hey, if you throw the match, I'll hire you." That might have He might have been hired to make the next Melee game, to make Melee HD. Um, but even if they had the same ideology, they didn't get along. Um, Jimmy Dore and Chuck Schumer. Chuck Schumer admired Jimmy Dore. Jimmy Dore knew um, how to yeah. Chuck Schumer admired Jimmy Dore. Jimmy Dore had the right ideology. They could have worked together, but instead, um, Jimmy just trash talks Chuck Schumer. Um, without without negotiating. Well, I don't know the story, but I see. Chuck Schumer is a fan of Jimmy Dore. Jimmy Dore wants progressive policies. Chuck Schumer wants to help people, but then they can't get along. It's like fire and ice. So this happens all the time in politics, and so it seems the only time people actually get together is when there's a crisis and stuff needs to get done. There's an emergency. We have to react. We have to get stuff done now. But if people are like, "Hey, I agree with you on this issue, and we need to help people," when it comes to actually implementing policies, people just don't get along. Pride gets in the way. Egos get in the way. And if there's one thing I learned from dropping out of university and trying to become a professional esports player, it's team dynamics. Um, and people always rage about, oh, well, these politicians, they're so corrupt. They always get along with their donors and the companies. The donors and the companies, the lobbyists, they understand team dynamics. I give you some money, you cooperate with me. Now, there's also team dynamics like instead of saying you're wrong, say like, well, I think this, or instead of saying don't do this or that's stupid, you can say this option is advantageous because X, or this option is disadvantageous because Y, in my opinion. And then people won't get mad at you for disagreeing with them because they'll think, like Terry Pratchett would say, they'll run it in their heads, they'll get their own idea, and they'll get their own idea, which is your idea, and they'll say, that's a good idea. Instead of, this person thinks I'm wrong. This person doesn't respect my opinion, so therefore I disagree with them. And and the shutting out. That's the tragedy here. The shutting out of like-minded voices in politics who are fighting for human rights and animal rights and artificial general intelligence rights. So just try to get along, because politics is that kindergarten playground, and yeah, not everyone deserves respect, but if two people have like-minded ideologies, then that should be the common ground from which they build a foundation. And you can agree to disagree on everything else, but if you share one policy in common, then fucking cooperate, because No matter how much stuff you disagree on, if two people hold power and they can't get along, then it's not going to be productive, because in a democracy, people actually have to get along. And so you need the social skills to get along with people, even if you loathe them, even if you think they are the scum of the earth. To get stuff done, you need to bring people to your side. And trash talking someone every week is not going to bring them to your side. That said, if you're going to trash talk someone, trash talk them on the substance of what they do. Trash talk them on the substance of where they went wrong instead of who they are as a person, what they look like, how they talk. Trash talk them on the policy, the substance, and even if they're wrong on everything else, if they actually stand for something you believe in, then praise them for that. You can trash talk them for everything else, but on the policy.